All right, what's going on, everybody? Happy Friday. I hope everybody had an amazing week. Has got something fun planned for the weekend. So let's just jump into everything here. Great day in the markets. Uh, as expected. So we'll just jump into everything that I did. First with Take Two Interactive. So video game stocks. I guess are hot. This is the best looking one out of the bunch. Yesterday I said, you guys saw me yesterday. If you watched that video yesterday, I went through my entire criteria of picking a stock or position to get into. That was all organic, off the cusp. That was the first time that I saw that chart yesterday, and within just a couple minutes, I made the decision. So, but basically, literally first thing this morning, equity position right around $223, and performed fine today. I would have liked to see, honestly, a little bit more strength today, but that's okay. Let's look at the volume here for the week on this breakout. Wow, yeah, see, this looks really good. Let's see here. Let's see this whole consolidation period. It's okay. It's all right. Volume's whatever. We're looking good. All-time highs, and that's something you cannot, argue with, right? Everyone knows if there's one criteria to pick, it's a new highs list. So, I don't have high expectations for this at all. We're not in a bull market, right? But there is a chance that this market correction is over. And if that is in fact the case, then a stock that has made new highs when markets were, down will perform well. Okay, so that's that. Take two, moving on. Other current positions. MicroStrategy had a really good day today. Yes, equity position, $330-ish. It's average cost basis. Still got a third of a position size on in there. We'll just let it do its thing. There's no sense in, chasing this and trying to force more money into this right here. If there's another opportunity to add into this, it'll make itself obvious. So MicroStrategy still looks good. Let's see how it looks on the weekly chart. And strong, looks phenomenal. And then moving on over to NASDAQ. I did not sell out of this position, and I was close to, but the close here was really strong. This was going into the close. So, we'll let it ride. And anyways, the instrument for that is TQQQ, which I usually like. So those are June 20th is the expiration, $51 strike price. Those are calls. $665 is what I paid. Those are currently right around $765. And those are working out great. Again, like I said, the strategy remains the same for these. Not looking to be a hero, not looking for anything crazy. Maybe we'll see what happens on Monday, and I'll still get out of these around the 50-day moving average, or maybe first thing. We'll see what happens Monday. Because yeah, I mean, yeah, like I said, this downtrend, yes, it has been broken, but is this market correction over? We have yet to see, right? So I'm not trying to force anything. It's just easy, stress-free trading, and that's it. Don't need to be a hero. It's nothing. Not in this for ego or try to make myself feel good or nothing like that, right? Strictly a business, and so just play the probabilities. That's it. All right, and so that's all the positions. Really good day. And let's go over. It was also a good day for a lot of sort of intraday trades as well. A day like this is much easier for me to trade with some intraday futures than a day like yesterday, believe it or not, right? Because it's like, what am I risking here? Where do you know when to get out, right? So a day like today, much easier for me personally. There's a million different, styles, whatever. So, in here, right, take advantage of all this right in here. This meets my style. Got some there, got some here, got all through here. It did not get any of this. And then just waited, caught this move. Really good, huge moves in here. I mean, these are huge moves. Sold out of them right here. And but then as this rebounded, caught some more. And then that was basically it. It's Friday, and that was it. So anyways, all right, moving on to let's see. What are we gonna do? Okay, so since we're here on NASDAQ, let's look at indexes here. And like I said, with this is getting close to when I will look to get out of these calls. And that doesn't mean that I'll look to get short, which I know back here I was referring to it, but things have changed, so my opinion has changed. What I will do is I'll wait and see what's up with the type of pullback that we get, because there will be one. So that's how I feel about NASDAQ. Let's look at this on a weekly chart. And wow, yeah, I mean, this looks fantastic, sort of. Yeah, so move up to 1986. Yeah, I like that. Somewhere 1986, 1984 is probably what I'll be looking for. All right, now we'll go over to S&P. Sort of same thing. I could see Monday being another kind of good day, or next week kind of being a good week. Maybe get kind of an inside day on Monday. But yeah, all right, let's leave this on weekly. It's probably going to look very similar to the Qs, and it does. In fact, I think Qs look a little bit better. Is there some sort of trend? I know so many people here. We'll cancel this red extension. So many more people trade S&P ES than NASDAQ, but I just don't. This is coming up to here. Yeah, well, you know what? We'll see what happens on Monday. This looks fine. Okay, Russell. Nice rebound. Yeah, so clearly there's strength in here. And like I said, do I know if this market correction is over and now we can just hold calls for a month? No, I have no clue. You don't need to know. It'll be obvious when and if it does in fact happen. So we'll just trade the market that's given. Okay, go over to Dow. And wow, yeah, super strong, really strong day. Let's see how this closed. Yeah, really good, really similar to the NASDAQ. Yeah, this looks fantastic, actually. Weekly chart, whatever. Um, let's see if there's any sort of shorter term trend. Not really. I mean, there is sort of like this, right? Um, but, uh, but yeah, so, move maybe up to 41 area. So yeah, I mean, indexes, hey, it looks good, relatively speaking. I mean, it doesn't look good like it looked in here, right? Bull market clear up trend, right? That's not what we're dealing with here, but relative to the last few months, this looks good. So, okay. All right. That's it for indexes. Since we're on indexes, let's look at Germany here real quick. And wow. So, yeah, I mean, Germany hits new all-time highs. You have stocks that are ripping. Bitcoin's performing very well. Right? So these are all things that go into the category of, is this market correction over? And I would say so far it's looking really good. Like, in fact, it is. All right. Now let's go over Mag 7. So we'll start with Tesla. Tesla had a monstrous day. And, cool. Elon Musk's net worth probably went up by like $1 billion. No, I really have no clue how much, but I mean, you got to think like the swings in that guy's net worth on a daily basis is just insane. All right, Tesla. So yeah, I didn't have any opinion. I haven't had an opinion on Tesla for a while. I still don't have an opinion on this. This one is not something that I would be trading. This doesn't meet my criteria. It doesn't suit my eye. A lot of technical analysis for me is, does this appeal to my eye? And then I go from there. This doesn't appeal to my eye. I have no opinion on this. I don't really have any opinion other than betting against Elon has proven to be very dumb. So there's that. Okay, Nvidia filled this gap today, and I don't have an opinion. This is not in anywhere in an extreme territory where I think this could run out of steam. But we'll see. Is this market strong, or is it going to roll over and be really weak? But yeah, again, as of now, that's not in any sort of extreme territory. Okay. Blah, blah. Meta. Again, shoot, you guys, I mean, it's below the 200-day moving average. Just like Nvidia, there's plenty more, like Netflix, for example, that's made a new all-time high, right? I mean, this just screams. See, here's the thing about, like we were talking about yesterday, where, more knowledge does not equate to better results in trading. And if that in fact was the case, then every market analyst or analyst would not be an analyst. They would be a trader, but they don't go to, one doesn't equal another. So therefore there's analyst jobs, right? So you don't need to try and outsmart anything. You just look at this chart and think, okay, logically, the demand for Netflix is insane, right? I mean, that's all you really need to know. So like you pick a stock that's just ripping, because that's where all the money's going to. There's nothing else really you need to know, right? So these things like Netflix and Take-Two, for example, new all-time highs. Can these fail? Yeah, absolutely. But again, it's just probabilities. Okay, so Apple. I don't know. There's still this gap to fill up here, and hey, this gap, it will be filled at some point, just like we were talking about this gap down here. I said if the bull market was in fact over as this was rolling over, now I said this gap here will get filled, and it did very quickly, but just like this gap up here, this will get filled to the upside. So, hey, that could be a very strong day in the markets and just something to look out for. Microsoft looks okay. Microsoft has been working on a lot of cost cutting. And I think that that's good for Microsoft, as they may have gone a little bit too much into too heavy spend into AI and data centers, and that's something that they've acknowledged and are cutting back costs on. So, hey. All right, that's pretty much it. Amazon. Yeah. See again. Hey, does this look good for like very short term? Yeah, sure. Okay, Amazon. All right, I guess that's probably it with Mag 7. Oh, Google. Let's see how Google ended up today. Yeah, gave all the gains back. All right, that's enough of all that. Now let's go over into sectors here. Let's look at financials. Yeah, a little consolidation above the 200-day moving average. Again, it's good. This isn't bad. Right? Okay, yeah, that's good. Is it really strong? No. Time will tell. Maybe this rockets higher, and then you say, okay, cool. There is certainly strength in this on a pullback. We can pull the trigger on it. All right, industrials. No. Utilities. This is something I want to kind of watch out for, but also speaking of watch out for, you don't want to see this roll over from here, and it's looking suspect. Especially with this day. Huge volume. One of the most bearish candles you could possibly get. So, and it's coming up right around this area. In fact, has the volume picked up in here? It did on this day. If there was kind of a lot of volume in here, that would be more troubling. But, all right. Biotech. Yeah, again, gap up here to fill, and that will get filled at some point. I don't know when. Real estate. I don't know. Bonds, I don't know. What else is there? Oil. Wow. Slammed. Let's see. Energy sector. Wow. Slammed. Okay, so that's it for sectors, and so let's go over gold and silver. So we're sidelining gold. We're sidelining gold, although pretty decent day. Yeah. Silver. Ooh, yeah. See, this is no. Let's look at copper. Let's see how copper's doing. Oh, and we can go look at China while we're at it. Yeah, it's holding on. Nothing. I don't know. Nothing to really talk about, right? I mean, in here is pretty crazy. So, China. Yeah, this is really good to see in here. Some sort of little consolidation going on. A little flagging pattern for a day or two or three, right? So this is nothing substantial, right? But is this a consolidation? Yes, this is in fact a consolidation. So you had to move higher in consolidation. So the probability of this moving up higher is greater than this failing. That's all you need to know. All right. Let's go over Bitcoin miners real quick, see how they performed. Whatever. Riot, and then we'll do HUD 8, and then that's it for this video. Let's go to corn here. Yeah, so still, haven't pulled the trigger on this one. Been very close a couple times, and so we'll see what next week brings as these moving averages kind of catch up, and maybe a little consolidation, and then for a move higher. Maybe want to wait for confirmation above this 480. Just a more clear and concise risk to reward here, but yeah, that's it, you guys. I hope everyone has a great weekend, and then I'll catch you all next week.